Welcome to our Wellness and Disability Equity Alliance meeting, where we are all about making sure that people with who identify as disabled are getting the behavioral health support that is trusted and trauma informed and accessible. You know, we're living in a world that a lot of times is not necessarily designed for people like those of us who have brains and bodies that work differently. So I appreciate your time is valuable. Thank you for helping us kick off the weekend. And just a couple of pieces of housekeeping. I have enabled captions. You can get those by clicking at the bottom where on the three dots and it says show captions. Please make sure your name is displayed. It looks like you all doing that. Oh my gosh, you're so on top of it, you guys. Nancy joined us. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Fanya. It's great to see you too. Fanya's with IRC. And we do want to know more about you. So click this in, and we are doing this demographic survey just to find out where in the county people are attending, just information about you. Feel free to use the QR code on the screen. Let me just get that set. Okay. Or you know what I will do is I will put this into the chat, just a short survey on just some demographic stuff, totally anonymous. Put a fake name down if it asks for name. And okay, so I've got that in the chat. This lets us know where our communities are located throughout the county, and that could influence funding. All right. Did I put that one in? Yeah, I guess I did. Well, what's this form? I got a form in here that I don't even know what it is. Well, it'll all, sometimes we just have to fly by the seat of our pants, roll with resistance and go, I don't know what that is, but it'll all come out in the end. All right, so if you've had a chance to get that form, I'll post it again later in case you didn't get a chance to do it. Is there anybody here who would be willing to read our land acknowledgement? This is just the first step towards building a more inclusive future where we eliminate the ongoing erasure of Indigenous people's voice and lives and history. Is it big enough for you to read? Anybody want to volunteer?
I'd be happy to read it.
I would love that. Thank you.
This is land acknowledgement. Riverside University Health System's behavioral health acknowledges the traditional, ancestral, and contemporary homelands of the indigenous peoples of Southern California, whose land it is to occupy. The Cahuilla, Cupino, Luceño,
Yep.
Serrano, Chemehuevi peoples
Yes,
and their
perfect.
ancestors have been here since time immemorial, caring for the land with great integrity. The first peoples honored the earth, animal and plant beings, the water, and all peoples that lived here. We acknowledge it. We acknowledge this reciprocal relationship and intend to continue and extend the values of caring and emotional wellness to all Indigenous peoples, Native Americans, and residents of Riverside County. RUHS behavioral health creates relationships built on trust and accountability with its community members. With this land acknowledgement, Riverside University Health System Behavioral Health commits to be respectful to and mindful of tribal sovereignty, culture, and beliefs of the Indigenous peoples of this land.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Now, just so that we're not doing a land acknowledgement in word only, there's been some criticism that companies can throw a land acknowledgement up and then call themselves, diversity, equity, and inclusive. So I do want to mention one of our cultural liaisons for Native Americans has given us this site to this map, and I just put it in the chat box, and here we go. Let me share this. Okay, so this is a native land digital map. And when it opens, and once again, that web address for it is in the chat box. You could go to the map, and then you go around the world here. You can zoom in. And usually what I do is I look for the Salton Sea because then I know where we'll be. That's not it. That's not it. Hey, everybody, where's the Salton Sea? Do I have to zoom in more? I don't think that's it. You know
Go
what? Let me
south.
take.
You'll need
Do I need to go further south?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Wait, that's in it.
Zoom out just a little bit.
Zoom out. Let me go more. Oh my god. Well, I'll tell you what, here we go. Let me put the Desert Hot Springs zip code in. And then we'll zoom out from here. Okay. So this is, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. There's the Salton Sea. It's just not blue on this map. This is the Coachella Valley here. This is the pass Banning. So if we turn on territories, we get a list of which tribes were where. And we can zoom it out a little bit. So once again, that's in the chat. This other map too, this is an Aegis map where you can choose the layers of what you want to look at. And as you can see, we have tribes here. So that's Banning, Pechanga, Santa Rosa, and of course, Palm Springs, the Agua Caliente tribe. So I did just want to show a couple of those to you. And you know what? Here, let me put this also in the chat copy in case you ever want to look up some tribes. And I think if I close that and close that and close that. So as we move on, I want to get back to, we did the land acknowledgement, our icebreaker. So happy Groundhog Day, everyone. Let's do a share screen. A lot of you, thank you for putting into the chat who you are and where you work. Icebreaker question. So your name and your organization, if you had to live one day of your life over and over again, what would it be? Feel free to come off mic. This, of course, a reference to the movie Groundhog Day. Or if you want to put it in the chat, we can read it that way. If you could live one day over and over, what day would it be? Should I say if you had to live one day over and over?
I've got a day to share.
Nancy.
It might sound a little grim or graphic, but I'll clean it up a little bit. But it was about three or so years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago. I woke up on a day I wasn't supposed to wake up, and I became an advocate that day for nursing home reform, all long-term care and HCBS services, disability services, or disability advocates, things like that. So, and policy change. So
I love that.
It's gave me great meaning to my life.
Mm-hmm. I'll share mine. It was in 2011. They told me I was cancer-free. I had been identified as having stage 4 gynecological cancer. And they said, you can live 2 years or you could live 2 months. And then here it is 14 years later. But the day they said that NED, no evidence of disease after my PET scan. And I thank you. I would enjoy that feeling over and over again. Sometimes I forget and I'm in traffic feeling petty about somebody who cut me off. Then I remember, oh yeah, that's right. I might not even be here. Who else? Nobody's putting anything in the chat. Does anybody want to come off mic and share in our icebreaker?
I'll share.
Thank you, Pamela.
Of course. So I think it would probably, there's actually 2 days. So if I can share 2.
Yes, of course.
One was the day I defended my doctorate, and that feeling of having accomplished a goal I set for myself as a child. And then the other one was, if I could relive this day, would be the day that my children's adoption was finalized, and they got to take the judge's gavel and hit the little wooden piece that judges use.
I love that sort of physical and tactile, almost like ritual of what they got to
Yes.
participate. Oh, that is awesome. Thank you. And when you say defend your doctorate, those of us not in academia think, oh, like you were under attack, but it's just part of the process, isn't it?
It's part of the process. Basically, you spend all this time writing and researching, and you become this expert to answer one little question, and then you have to defend it, and people can ask any question they want, and you hope that you have the answer, or at least can tell why you don't have the answer. So it's a rite of passage.
Yes.
Hopefully, you know, by the time you get there that you'll be fine, but there's always that, you know, question that comes from someplace you didn't expect.
All right. Thank you so much, Pamela.
Sure.
So nobody's putting in the chat. Still curious if you had one day that you had to live over and over again and you got to pick the day. Anybody want to, any last burning desires to share?
I can't decide. You know, I keep on, there's so many, but I want to say tomorrow, you know, and I can't give the details.
Oh, well, but that was cryptic. Now you got me all curious. Ooh. So if I contact you Monday, can you tell me?
We'll see. You know,
Okay.
I'm always looking for tomorrow, you know, what it's going to bring.
Thank you so much, Will. And then Alexis said she would relive her sister's wedding. Were you a bridesmaid, Alexis?
Yes, I was.
And how was the dress? Was it okay?
Yeah, we actually found one that fit like all of the bridesmaids perfectly, so it was really good.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, any last burning before we move on? You know how I am. I'm like, I sometimes don't wait long enough for people to jump in. All right. We want this to be a safe place. So inclusion is a priority, and we created these, the list of agreements for our meeting. Now, there's something on the bottom there that I did add because, well, let me just read. In accordance with our decision to be as accessible as possible, we will post a recording of this meeting on various county websites. By attending, you consent to authorize RUHSBH to post this meeting video online. We'll talk about it a little more, but this is a response to our listening session last week. And we can do it this way, or we can discuss some other ways that we want to get consent from people. If you ever have any thing you want to add or take away from the agreement, you let me know, because this is a living document. We're going to approve the minutes from our last meeting. First, take a look at the list. If you were there and you're not on there on the list, let me know. If it's showing that you you were here and you weren't, also you can let me know. This is just the attendance. Let me go to the actual meeting minutes themselves. So, and those are going to be right here. Let me scroll up to the top. All right. Okay, so I'll just scroll down this, and then we'll have a somebody move that we approve, and somebody will second, and we'll be done with that. While you're reading, I want to share with you Tana's answer to the icebreaker. She would relive the day her grandkids were born. Love that. I had no idea you were a grandma, Tana.
A grandma of 3.
Yeah. All right. Some of that was about the disability flag we discussed, and the colors and our logo. We talked about the gala, which I have some pictures of the gala to share a little later. There was an announcement that the Health Equity had their quarterly meeting. And then we ended with community announcements. Kelly won our Starbucks gift card for $20. We have another one today. And if I went too fast, let me know. If you have any changes, let me know.
I believe I was there as a guest.
Oh, Pamela, you're not on there. Let's look. Okay, thank you. Yes, that was my fault. I did not take a picture of our participants list. So thank you for that. So with that change, can we have somebody move that we approve the minutes from our January meeting?
I approve.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, that's Stacy. Tana, was that you that moved?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just gotta make that note. All right, that being said, let me just do my quick. Oops, don't want that. It is time for our agency spotlight. So last week in our listening session, we did talk about getting people here and removing barriers to them attending. And right now, being as we are serving a disabled community, the online meetings have been good. But from Riverside County Information Technology, I want you to please welcome the Director of Broadband Services with some great news, Tom Mullen. Tom, I'm going to unshare in case you decide you want to share.
Thank you very much, Dakota, and thank you all for allowing me to share a bit of news with you. There is a federal program called the Affordable Connectivity Program, and this provides a $30 monthly subsidy against home internet service. And qualified residents, and I'll go through those qualifications here in a second, receive that $30 once per household. And that then gets applied against the internet bill that you would receive from your service provider. And here in Riverside County, we have 3 large service providers, AT&T, Charter Spectrum, and Frontier. Together, they cover probably 90% of the entire county, just depending on where you live. ACP has been an outstanding program. And it's been going now since 2022. Here in Riverside County, we have over 213,000 households signed up for the program. It's a very large program that generates over $6 million a month in subsidies for our residents. It's been very popular. Unfortunately, it's been so popular across America with nearly 23 million households enrolled that the program is running out of money federally. And currently, it's expected that the program will utilize all of its allocated revenue by this April. As a result, the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, is closing the enrollment for new participants next week on February 7th. Those that are already enrolled will continue to receive benefits until all program dollars are exhausted. And as I said, that's expected to occur this April. So what happens when the money runs out? That $30 subsidy goes away, and that $30 increase effectively is going to end up on your internet home service bill. We have been working with AT&T, Charter Spectrum, and Frontier to identify their lowest cost home internet programs in order to help publicize those for those that would like to continue to receive home service at the lowest possible cost. Each one of the carriers has a program, and they are working to refine those nationally. And then we will post all of that information up on our website, which I'll share here in a second. But it's rivcoconnect.org. I'm typing that as I speak into the chat. We will have a full set of frequently asked questions, guidance that we can provide on connecting with those providers, as well as we will continue to have our toll-free call center up and running, which is available at 866-922-1016. And I'll put that in chat here in a second as well. And that's on our website as well. We continue to have English and Spanish speakers available to assist residents to navigate through this transition that's occurring. Additionally, we have sent letters and are meeting with and advocating with congressional members regionally to encourage them to take action to approve new funding for the program. Currently, there is legislation pending in the House of Representatives, as well as the US Senate, to allocate another $7 billion nationally for the program. It's expected that that would fund the program for another year. There's just with 23 million residents utilizing it, it's a very high burn rate across America. But that's only because it's been so popular and effective. Really, it's been the most effective program to date to help close the gap on affordable home internet service. So we're advocating, governors from 25 states are advocating for it across political party. So you've got bipartisan support coming forward from large states and small states, rural states and urban states. Democrats and Republicans are in support of moving legislation forward to add new funding to the program. Our hope is that Congress takes action before the money runs out in April, but literally we're asking for an act of Congress. and unfortunately, we here in Riverside County don't have the ability to backfill that funding to keep the program going locally. And at this point, the state of California has not made the commitment to step up and pick up that cost, which would be almost $1 billion a year here in the state of California. So it's a very large sum of money, particularly given the state's financial concerns with a shrinking budget of $36 to $38 billion next year. So there are real challenges to keeping this program going. We are here to help as best we can and answer as many questions as we can, and to help folks move from whatever program they are on now with their carrier to the lowest cost program that their carrier provides, or if needed, help identify another carrier that serves their home that may be less expensive for them. That's a lot of change going on. I wish it was better news around affordability, but we are hopeful that Congress takes action soon, and we encourage all of you to voice the same, quite frankly.
Maybe write some letters to their congressman, to Raul Ruiz, or
to any and all.
Okay.
would be welcome. We will have some links on our website by the end of next week that will allow you to connect to some programs that are formatted letters to keep it simple, so folks can do that. We are here again trying to communicate as much as we can. We have had a large outreach effort around ACP. We've been doing television ads, radio ads, billboards, shelters. We have the call center, obviously. We go to events, do one-on-ones, really trying to help folks. So what we're doing now is switching all of our communications to save ACP. And so that's really the push around affordability right now. I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
There was a question in the chat. Will cell phone service be affected?
Great question. No. Yes and no. So ACP does allow you to apply the discount to your cellular telephone service. And if you receive ACP on your cell phone account, then that too will be going away, unfortunately.
Any questions for Tom Mullen of RCIT? So what is that? Riverside
Riverside County Information Technology.
Technology. Okay. Thank you, Tom. So will you shoot me an email next week once your website has those sample letters, advocacy letters up, and then we can send those out? Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you allowing me to share this news. And I hope you'll allow me to come back if we have good news on when Congress takes action to refund the program.
You know it. You know it. I'm going to think positively about this, and congratulations on the success of the program. And that's going to be a feather in the cap as moving forward, I think. But you've got a group of very active people here, advocates who are attending this meeting. So I think we can get a little movement on the needle.
Excellent.
There.
Thank you all for your help. And truly, if there's any questions that you have, feel free to reach out to me. I'll drop my email address in the chat here as well. And feel free to reach out to me at your convenience.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So as far as connectivity, if somebody does have trouble getting online, I do want to share what we're going to do now. I was thinking about Starbucks and how they have a signal in their store, or in the coffee shop. And if you have a computer, you can join us from Starbucks. So let's give you, so you don't have to feel like you're loitering around Starbucks without making a purchase. Let's get you a gift card. And you know what? I'm actually going to answer your question after we do our little our question. Trivia question, groundhog trivia. By the way, the groundhog did not see its shadow. Punxsutawney Phil didn't see a shadow. He didn't run back into the stump. And so we are getting an early spring. Okay, if you're ready, this is a multiple choice. You can just type in A, B, C, or D. First person wins a $20 gift code. Oh, please. I just got a notification's in the way. All right, here we go. Here's the question. In addition to woodchuck, what is another name for a groundhog? A, burrow squirrel. B, whistle pig. C, weather beaver. D, gobbler's knob gopher. Estefania said C is wrong. I'm so sorry. Okay, so who's after? Rosanna says burrow squirrel. No. Tana says C. No. A. The answer is B. Madison, you're our winner today. Okay, groundhogs attract the attention of a potential mate by whistling. For this reason, sometimes they're called whistle pigs. I had no idea. Thank you so much for everybody for participating. Now, what you could do for me, Madison, is send me, either email me your snail mail address, or you can put it in the chat. If you don't want everybody to see it, you can just put it to the chat to me. But that would be wonderful. Congratulations. And let's get you all hyped up on caffeine for our meeting next month. So part 2 of getting people connected. And once again, this is a result of our listening session last month. We wanted to remove any barriers to these meetings. So to talk about device acquisition, getting cell phones and smartphones and computers and laptops to people who need them so they can attend our virtual meetings. I want to introduce to you our new co-chair, Tana Butler, who's going to take over now.
Thank you so much, Dakota. So CAPS, they will give you a laptop or a computer if you sign up for their program, and you would have to do, it's like ads. You have to do several ads on your computer. And then once you're done doing the ads, then you'll be able to retrieve the computer or laptop from them. But right now we're on hold with that because their website is not user-friendly. So I'm really trying to figure out a new way to maybe make it user-friendly, or if their tech can come and help me maneuver through it. So, and as soon as I find that out, I will get a hold of Dakota, and Dakota can let you all know how we're going to pursue this, so that if you need a laptop or a computer or a tablet, they would be able to issue and you'd be able to take their program. Thank you very much.
Of course. So did you say you watch ads from CAP, Community
That is what
Activity?
he said, is that we have to watch some ads in order that's the program because it's online. So it's
Okay.
almost like going on YouTube or Facebook and then you're watching those reels and then you have those ads that come in. So it's almost like something like that is what I'm understanding, but I'll know more once I attend it myself.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you for doing some of the footwork on that. And of course, before somebody has a device and a signal, they would maybe have to go to the library. They could go to one of the peer support resource centers. We have 3 of these across the county, one in Indio, one in Riverside, and one in either Temecula or Paris. And these are drop-in centers. Anybody in the world can drop in. And all day long, they have calendars and schedules of classes around recovery, around building social supports. And if you need to find a peer support resource center, get a hold of me. I'll get you connected to them.
I would like to also add to Nancy's comment. Yes, Nancy, I have gone to the convalescent homes and the hospitals, and they are eligible to do this program and get their free laptop and computer too. And their IT will help them hook it up.
Great. One of the other things we discussed last month was getting a logo for the WADE Alliance, Wellness and Disability Equity Alliance. So this, of course, is our current logo here. And this is just kind of a group shot of them all. I'll go through them individually. What I think I'll do is we'll just view them quickly now, not too quickly, but I'll go through each of them, make them bigger. And then I will send them out in an email and maybe have you vote for the top 3. And then we'll do a runoff next month with those final 3. So in order to do that, I am going to share this. All right. So
Dakota, may I ask?
yeah,
What's the significance of a pineapple?
that. Who is that? Pamela. Okay. I'm so glad you asked that because Pat has a great, let me go to that logo first of all, and then let's see. Pat, is that it? No. Here we go. So Pat, which who is Tana's roommate, and she's an artist. There we go. Okay, good. You can see that. Said the pineapple is a sign of fellowship, friendship, and welcoming. Do I have that, Tana? It's something like that.
Yes, it is. I was looking at Pat's comments. Yes, it is.
Wonderful. Yeah, yes, because one of the
Me.
things that our group decided was we really want to be welcoming, want people to know that they belong here with us, disabled or allies, right? That we take everyone and we're removing all the barriers we can. So this pineapple she came up with, and on each of these little pieces of the pineapple, and this is just, just something to start with, it has not a list of disabilities, but a list of organizations that we work with to address disabilities. So Building Bridges is on there for special needs, the Braille Institute, Blindness Support Services, Autism Society, United Cerebral Palsy. And we can put anybody on there that wants to be on there. So that is that pineapple. But I also, for the heck of it, made a stylized pineapple here.
Picture on this one.
it.
What was that? Oh, no.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. And this does have the kind of disabilities: sensory, mobility, rare, invisible, undiagnosed. It's hard to see. I know, neurodivergent, psychiatric. So that's a pineapple. Not that. Whoops. This is another one that Pat made for us. And so we have a rainbow that's in the RUHSBH colors, and we have different disabilities represented with the pictures. You saw that pineapple. Whoops, close. Couldn't save that design. This is kind of a variation of that last one. We have the rainbow in the branding colors, and then we have, we got the dog here, the neurodivergency, the eye with the slash, a wheelchair. an ear with a slash for hard of hearing deaf. And then the person in the middle, maybe that would be unseen, invisible disabilities, or somebody who's just trying to find their place in the world. So that's one. Here's one that I made of the flag, since we talked a lot about the flag. And in this, I did list what the different colors stand for. So one that's similar to that is a little simpler, wellness and disability equity. Once again with that, and you've got a little picture. Wade Alliance, disability, wellness, disability equity, with the hands making the little heart sign. This I thought for Southern California is kind of nice. We have the sunrise or sunset, wellness and disability equity, once again in the RUHSBH colors. Some dancing people. Oh, I like this one a lot too. The way we're in the branding colors on this too. We've got people dancing in the middle, and then it's kind of simple. I do like the sense of being cradled in the arm. You know, we're a safe place for people to come. Let's see. That's just what do you say? Just kind of a not realistic. It's it's a stick figure. It's wellness and health. This is the combination of the flag and the one with the arm embracing. Some dancing, some colors. This is a wave in the ocean, isn't it? Wellness, disability. And the last one, oh, and that's our regular one. So if that's all right with you, can I just send those to you in an email and then have you send back? Should we do the best 5 or the best 3? Any comments about that? How we start breaking that down?
Will
I
you
think
take
3 would be
feedback?
good.
Sorry.
Nancy.
Will you take feedback on like why we chose them or why we didn't?
Yes, these are not finished products. So we can take some ideas, you know, a little of this, little of that, change the colors, make this more visible. Yeah. Let's do feedback and pick your favorites, and then we'll see where we land in a month, whether we need to want to alter them and try again. There's no rush on this. We've got a decent temporary logo. Thank you. That's a great question, Nancy. Tana?
I would say maybe do 3 instead of 5, because 5 like makes it still a lot to pick from. Where 3,
Yeah.
it's easier to like start downsizing some of them.
Yeah, and you know what? And if 20 people pick their top 3, there's going to be, like even just the 10 of the favorites that we can work as we edit and integrate and change them around. Thank you. That's a great suggestion. The top 3. So look for that coming in your email. And the final piece that we got from our listening session last week was about posting our meetings on the website. This is a picture of the RUHS Behavioral Health YouTube page. And what I will do here is post this in the chat so you can look at it anytime you want. Let me find it on here. There we go.
1:42 p.m. for notification.
Every once in a while before a meeting, I will play one of these videos kind of as the warm up in the waiting room.
Clear all.
And they're just people talking about their experiences and getting mental health. And they have said, yes, they will post our videos. So I've just, for the last month, but just been trying to compress our video down and get it posted. But this one, I'm going to work on getting it posted, hopefully by next week. And with that, let me ask about consent. As you saw earlier, take my shot. I put in the community agreements that consent statement. Is that how you want that to happen? Would you like me to do an audio announcement saying anybody at this meeting, if by attending you're giving your consent? We just don't want to put the county in any jeopardy with a lawsuit or anything. So what is the best way to go about that?
I like
So
the
go ahead.
the audio announcement would suffice for me.
Okay, okay, good. Yeah, you know, we have to walk this tightrope of, we want this to be safe where people can be honest, but eventually it may go online. So you just need to know ahead of time. If we find that going online, posting the meetings after the fact online, it crimps our style, right? And we lose spontaneity or honesty here, then we can revisit this whole thing.
I'm wondering if it's gonna have closed captions, because if it's audio, people like me who is deaf, how are we gonna know what it's saying?
Well, so the yes, you know what? We can have the consent written like we did on the community agreements and the audio reading of it. And between that and the ASL interpreter and the captions, because our meetings are always captioned, I think we get all that covered. Thank you, Tana. That's really a good point. So nice to think about that ahead of the fact rather than after. And then they say it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, but in some cases, I'd rather get it on the front end if we could.
Exactly.
All right. So if everyone's in agreement, we'll keep that statement on the community agreements, and I'll make sure that we stop and read that statement out loud. Okay. You know what? This is this is really going fast. So we're going to be ready for community announcements here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I do want to play for you one last thing. This is the gala. So Building Bridges for Special Needs in the Desert and Phoenixia Foundation put on the gala, and in January. We sponsored it for $1,000, and it was a great event. Will, is there anything you want to say about Will and I attended as guests? Is there anything you'd like to say about the time?
I had a great time. It was wonderful. All the technology they had in some of the cameras they used to take pictures of the attendees was pretty cool. And then and they had great music. Yeah, I had a wonderful time. And met, I didn't expect to see people coming up to me, and it was, that kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't aware that I knew so many people.
You were looking very fine that night. You had a suit and a tie. One thing that was really special, Will and I walked in and there was a red carpet. So we walked down the red carpet and they were snapping photos of it. And this is an experience that not a lot of developmentally disabled people get to experience. So it was really a night of coddling and attention. And I'll play you one of the little, he's talking about the technology. Where's one of the little things that made a video of us. I should have that like going on a loop, right? He was on the saxophone. And then they had this 360 camera. This is kind of cool. So that was just kind of some of the fun at the gala. I'm sure they're going to do that again next year. Oops, didn't want to do that. And then before we go into our community agreements, I do want to launch this poll about our next meeting. Are we going to meet in person? Hey, did I just say Renee here? Oh, no, I thought I said Renee. Okay. Do you want to meet in person or do you want to meet on Zoom next month? We don't have the hybrid meeting style in place yet. Hopefully going to work on that soon. So why don't you answer the poll? Should we meet in Zoom or in person? Just scroll down for for your votes. And we're getting, a lot of places are just really struggling with online meetings and getting people engaged, but you all do such a great job. Okay, I'm going to end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Any last takers? Okay, end the poll. Let us do a share results. The next meeting, it's going to be on Zoom again. Yay. All right. You know, once again, with disability, with the huge county that we have, sometimes using technology, I did share those results, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, stop sharing. Okay. Thank you. Using technology is the way for us to go. All right. I want to open it up for the roundtable now. Community agreements. Before I do that, I do want to mention we have a shared Google document where you can upload your flyers and you can see the flyers that are shared here. So while the next person shares about their event, I will put that address into the chat of where you can upload your brochures and your flyers. Anybody have anything going on that they want to share about? Any Valentine's Day events, resource fairs? I will share that Nancy told me about a skilled nursing forum for California on Monday, and it was fascinating. It was interesting to hear what the officials are saying and then what the public is commenting on. It was, there's a lot of nursing home reform happening. Pete, I'm just glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. Sorry you missed out on the groundhog trivia. No flyers to share, no upcoming announcements.
Hi, Dakota.
Brenda!
Hi.
Hi.
I don't have any announcements about any events, but also some of my colleagues are here, like Joe. I know you guys all know. Everybody knows Joe. So, I'm his colleague. We work at the Inland Caregiver Resource Center. So I just want to talk a little bit about that. We service seniors in Riverside County. Specifically the preventative and early intervention programs like Pearls, which Joel's a part of, and also Thrive, which I'm a part of. And that's clinical CBT, which stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy Program. And I just wanted to share a little bit about that. I know Joel sometimes talks about it, and I know you collaborate a lot with Joel.
Yeah, Joel's going to be one of our upcoming speakers at a meeting, but I can't say enough good stuff about the pathways. I'm sorry, it's for the caregiver pathways class I took.
So-
It's
Go ahead, Dakota.
no, that's all right. It's just one of the free services that I took
Yeah.
advantage of at a time I really needed it.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
And the best part is that it's free, right? There's no
Yes.
charge. That's the best part. I should have started off with that. It's
I
free.
think the best part was the facilitator, Guillermo, in my opinion, but free is also good.
So I just wanted to hop on here. I know I join sometimes. I'm usually quiet, but I wanted to talk about that today.
You know, there's just so many things happening and out there. And if somebody asks about it, it's like not always right at the top of our head. So this is such a great place to talk. Tana, you can go after Nancy.
Okay.
Hi, sure. Thanks for sharing that, Brenda. Would you mind to put some information in the chat for me? That way I can share it. Because I work a lot in the aging and disability space and within nursing homes and long-term care. But I also wanted to mention that if you all could help me spread the word, HRSA, the Health Resource Services, I can't remember what exactly HRSA stands for, but there's a federal grant, and I think there was like I can't remember how many millions. Actually, I shouldn't even be talking about that. But there's a federal grant that's going to be expiring, and this grant is for accredited places who assist people in their careers in the gerontology field. so that people can get their CNA certifications. CNAs can grow in their careers, but there's a huge shortage and a great need for people to work in the long-term care workforce on all specters or sections of that space.
Wonderful.
Now, +1, 7,
Thank you
6,
so
0,
much, Nancy.
9.
Tana, did you have something you want to share? And then Daisy and then Alexis.
Yes, Brenda, where do I find your location?
So we're located in the city of Colton, but we service Riverside County. So for therapy and counseling, that can be provided in person if the therapist or counselor is available, also via telehealth, like video or phone.
Okay, and can you add that phone number and stuff to the chat?
Yeah, I'm going to email the flyer to Dakota. I'm not sure if I have access to the drive, Dakota. I'm going to email the
Okay.
flyer and now share the number on here. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
And I
you.
just put your website on in the chat too.
Thank
Great. Daisy, what do you have for us today?
Hi, everyone. Apologies that I'm not in camera today. I wanted to share that the Department of Public Health is hiring community health workers. So the application is out. There is a flyer that I'll also share with you, Dakota. But basically, they will be working in different potential work settings, such as our community health clinics or medical center, and with the various programs the public health has. So we're very excited for that. Um, yeah, it'd be great to have that community liaison with like the lived experience that can connect with residents throughout Riverside County. So I'll be sharing that opportunity with you all if you know of any community health workers that are interested in applying for that position. I also wanted to share that through United Way, we have an application for COVID-19 funding. So that application for funds towards or any CBOs, FBOs, non-governmental organizations that are working to address COVID-19 and advance health equity. That application has opened through February 15th. This is the first round of, I believe, 2. And more information is available through a website. So I'll be sharing that on the chat, and I will be forwarding the email invite to you, Dakota, so you can send it out.
Okay. Wonderful. And then is there an aspect of that that's going to go towards long COVID? Because I know with disability, that's definitely becoming more of an issue in the world.
Great question, Dakota. I don't have a concrete answer for that, but I think if this is aiming towards COVID-19 information and creating more of that awareness, I wouldn't see why not. But I'll share that link. So if you have any questions such as that one, it can be sent out and they can answer it. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Brenda, for putting that phone number in the chat. And then Alexis, what did you want to share today?
Hi, so my name's Alexis Claiborne. I am with Planned Parenthood of Orange and San Bernardino counties. And I just wanted to share, so I know that we're San Bernardino County and a lot of you are based out of Riverside County, but we do host a quarterly community connection call where we try to get as many folks, whether they're community members or organizations in San Bernardino County or the Inland Empire, period, and kind of connect on where there are gaps in services specifically for youth. So I don't think I have access to the drive either, but I'll email you the flyer, Dakota. Our next one is going to be March 6th from 1 to 2:30, and it'll be over Zoom.
Wonderful. Planned Parenthood is a sticker on my car. You guys just do amazing work. Joel.
Hi, everyone. So I do want to remind everyone that I'm going to be having a presentation too in April. So I will be talking a little bit more about our programs with Inland Caregiver Resource Center, more in depth. Nothing else, I just want to point out that aside from it being free, two of our mental health programs for seniors are actually, they're also free, but it's no waiting. So there's no waiting list. So we have two programs. One is based on therapy, and one is not. The one that's not based on therapy is Pearls, and the one that's based on Pearl's not based on therapy. The one that is based on therapy is Thrive. Both of them are part of the prevention, early intervention programs from the county. So I look forward for seeing you guys, all ladies and everyone else, on April for our WAKE committee and be able to present that presentation to everyone.
Thank you, Joel. It's so important not only to take care of our seniors and disabled, but also caregivers. You know, who's caring for the caregivers. Tana's got her hand up.
Is the gentleman from the guest speaker, is he still here?
Joel, Tom from earlier today?
Yes.
No, I think he has left the meeting,
Okay.
but I can
could
get
send me
you.
his contact info, right? I have some suggestions for him.
Yes, he left it in the chat, and I'll make sure you get it after this meeting. Two things I want to wrap up with also. You will be getting an email from me about an RFP. That is a request for proposal, and that is a funding opportunity that the county is asking for people to submit ideas around the TAY population. TAY age is 16 through 25. And if you provide services to that group, especially to one of our cultural groups too, which would be us, teens who are disabled, or teens who are of a certain ethnic group, or teens who are LGBTQ+, then that is something you want to pay attention to, because there's a lot of funding money there. And then the second thing is, I mentioned it last week. We still have some charging stations. If you would like a complimentary, at no cost to you, charging station in your office, if you get foot traffic from consumers who need to plug in their device, we would love to provide that for you. Naya, what is your question, or what did you want to share today?
Okay. I'm also a therapist with Inland Caregiver Resource Center. So something else I wanted to share was for the caregivers, we also do support groups for them, psychoeducational classes, like how to take care of themselves, as some caregivers experience stress and burnout. So we have support groups and educational classes for that. And then we also have short-term counseling for them. But yeah, I just wanted to share. I'm also a therapist with Inland Caregiver Resource Center, and yeah, we provide free services to them, counseling, and then we also do support groups that meet virtually. Like one of them is called Pearls Club.
Nice. Great. And thank you, Naya. Nancy?
Thank you.
Speaking on the subject of caregivers, the Caring Across Generations organization, they are going to be accepting applications to be on the caregiver advocacy leadership team, or training rather, for 2024. They're not announcing it, but they do pay a $1,500 thank you stipend, as well as I believe 2 additional $25 Visa logo gift cards as well. So if any of you are interested in applying for that, for those leadership courses, it's one or 2 meetings that last about an hour each, and you would attend these lessons and then do a group capstone project at the end of a 6-month training program. But it's really informative and wonderful, and they make it as easy and streamlined as possible.
I just put their website into the chat. On their website, it says, we are families, caregivers, disabled people, and older adults who want a better way to live, work, and age with dignity. It's called Caring Across Generations. Okay.
Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome. Tana.
Is it Naya?
I think she pronounces it Naya.
Yes.
Okay, Naya, can you put your info in the chat?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Super duper. I love seeing connections happen like this. All right. Any last community announcements?
Yeah, Dakota, I would like to
Yes.
mention, I'm with Southern California Adaptive Sports, and one of our collaborators last year, I got to experience some programs, camping and a bus trip down to, I believe it was Del Mar, to a SEAL rescue facility down there. Well, I just learned, and I am already on a waiting list for a La Jolla beach trip, where they a senior beach trip for those caregivers and people that are in that field of these trips are organized for wellness. They cost nothing. You have to meet. I think it's in the Indio Desert Recreation Community Center off of Clinton. But then they also have these camping trips, and I was lucky enough to enjoy a camping trip last year up to Cuyamaca, where they will you meet at the campgrounds, and I think they're also having a camping trip down along the coast. I think it's starts with the C. Anyways, they supply everything. All you have to do is bring your clothes, and so I'm on the waiting list for the trip later this month down to La Jolla. The camping trips, they have several. There's a special person in charge. Her name is Sarah Balthazar with the Desert Recreation District. And then there's Kendra Smith that is the adaptive coordinator for the adaptive programs. And she has a snow trip. So check out those trips. I mean, it really, we even did a happiness survey before the trip, and then we took it afterwards. And there is a difference in getting out in nature and with friends. So I just wanted to mention that. Check it out. The wonderful program, the outdoor programs that they have with the DRD.
So you can learn about more of that in the chat. I've put the SoCal Adaptive Sports website, Michael Rosenkrantz's email address in there, and also the My Recreation District website address. And I forgot what else I was going to. Oh, there's a Special Olympics this month, I believe. Yeah. So if you want to learn anything about that, the only reason Michael can't be here is because he's at an event at this time of the week every week. But they have so much going on. So check out that website and look at some of the events, including camping, of course, the famous Boccia Ball. Did I say that right? Yeah.
And then we have the Wildfire Festival coming up in a couple of months. And so, yeah, there's a lot going on.
All right. Great. Yeah, you know, sometimes they actually call it nature deficit disorder. If you haven't seen a tree in the last 6 hours, your brain starts to not work right. So we all need to have access to those things. If there are no more announcements, I'm going to give you 25 minutes of your life back today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for Groundhog Day weekend kickoff. Thank you to Tom for sharing about the endeavors to get Wi-Fi coverage for everybody who needs it. And we will see you in a month, if not sooner.